So we call these the 7 Ps, the kind of evergreen 7 Ps. So I'll walk you through each of these very briefly, but this is the essence. The first 3 are really around the character of the ownership team and the leadership team, and the next 4 are really around the evergreen strategy. So purpose is being driven by a compelling vision and mission. If you are building your business to generate wealth for yourself, that is the objective of the business. By our definition, you're not evergreen. You have to have a deeper purpose than that. You have to have a much deeper North Star than that, because fundamentally that's what's going to align your employees, yourself, your customers around something much more meaningful than just making money. And we want people to be wildly successful, so don't think we're against money. You know, if you generate a lot of wealth as a byproduct of your success, like a guy like Andy Taylor and the Taylor family, good for you. You've had tremendous good in the world. Perseverance, if you're going to be around for 100 years, and that's the kind of the frame we like to talk about, 100 years, you're going to go through a lot. You're going to go through a lot of recessions, a lot of difficult periods. Things are going to happen externally and internally to your company. You better be prepared to get through that. Simple little things like keep your debt low. You know, most evergreens have very low debt, and that's just a way of protecting themselves during the downturns. People first, this is a really important thing. This is what was kind of inspired by my experience at Hewlett-Packard, and the idea that if you take care of your employees, they'll take care of your customers, they'll take care of your suppliers, your owners, their communities, and very importantly, their families, which is, at the end of the day, much of this is, that's what it's about. Being private and a commitment to staying private and understanding that gives you a tremendous competitive advantage. You can have planning horizons you would never see in venture capital and private equity in the public markets. You can do things strategically without revealing those strategies to any outside owners. You don't have to walk up Sand Hill Road and tell everybody what your 5-year strategy is. You don't have to talk to quarterly analysts who are going to rip you apart. You can do things that may even be non-obvious and contrarian because it's within your own decision right as owners. Profit is really, I like to think of just the economics of it, which is, it is the measure of customer value delivered. Nothing to be shy about. I think in Silicon Valley we've kind of forgotten about the importance of profits. But the idea being is that if a customer will pay you more than it costs you to deliver that product, you're doing a damn good job. If that margin is big, you're doing a really good job. So be proud of that. And then use those profits to reinvest in the business, reward your team, share with your owners. You know, it's very important. And this is ultimately give you your sustainability and longevity too. Pace yourself. Don't grow too fast and outstrip your culture and your resources. Andy Taylor said this to me yesterday. I'm like, yeah, if you get growing too fast, Andy, it's really a problem because it starts outstripping your financial resources, and then you'll be dependent on other capital sources. And he goes, that's not the issue. You know, you can deal with the financial. It's the people. It's the culture. He goes, don't ever let your culture get away from you. And that's what growth will do if you grow too fast. On the opposite end, if you grow too slow, you'll stultify the organization and your good people will leave. They need opportunities to grow and do new things. So growth is important as sustaining them. And then lastly is pragmatic innovation. The idea, again, if you're going to be around for 100 years, you're going to do things in 100 years that are very different than what you're doing today. So you need to wire into your DNA of your culture, from the lowest levels to the highest levels, an idea around continuous improvement. And for some people, it's Kaizen, just doing it better. For other people, it's going to be trying all new things, new products, new geographies, new ways of doing business. But you want to just have that be a natural part of the DNA of your organization. So that, kind of in summary, is the 7 Ps which we use to define Evergreen.